welcome to the Pitch Chronicles. I am Tats. I am here, and back is Donald Stewart. And we will be breaking down everything from the rout of the Pirates from last night and what to be expected in the Red Sox series. And, of course, everything going on with Aaron Judge. We'll be talking baseball right here on Pitch Chronicles. So, all right. Donald, I think the one thing that we really should start with, you got a little technical error with the intro, but that's all right. All right. It's, you know what, I think my cousin has it right here. All right. And he had said when he had joined us for a few days that Judge should be batting leadoff to avoid having more intentional walks. And he's spot on it. He was right. And we were trying to figure out if that was really the best way to go. But your reaction to Judge getting to 60, share that with everybody watching.
I think as excited as everybody else, man. We're watching history. I was locked in. I've been locked into every one of his at-bats recently. And what a moment it was. But remember, we were 8-4 at the time. So when he hit it to make it 8-5, I was more interested in the win rather than the 60. So when we came back and Stanton hit the grand slam, that's when you could really enjoy the majesty of the experience and the history behind it. So he's now tied with the Babe. I never thought we'd ever see that in our lifetime. It's been 95 years. So it really speaks to what we're witnessing right now. We're witnessing one of the greatest seasons in the history of baseball. He's now going to be in the forever history books. And once he eclipses 62, then oh my God, like I can't even put into words what we've witnessed, and it's certainly a privilege to be able to witness this every single day. So, as I say, when it happened, I was like, wow, this is great. But then I was still in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, well, we still need to make up some runs because Aaron Judge isn't the type to celebrate hitting a home run when they lose. He's not that type of guy. He wants to win. So once we won, that's when we could really celebrate the 60.
Yeah, what I thought was really great, and Robert and I talked about it yesterday, and just to get your take on it real quick before we get into the game, because it was that big of a moment where, I want to hear your point of view on it, was that when Judge hit the home run in the top of the ninth, he didn't celebrate it. To him, it was just getting another hit, or giving another contribution to the game to keep the Yankees going. And I think that really speaks to his character.
His character is impeccable. He's leading this team. He's our leader on and off the field. He's really stepped up in the leadership role as well recently. I've really noticed that.
Yeah. We'll get back to Nick right now. This Rich Arola story has to worry you guys big time. Judge was a huge Giants fan growing up. Rich Arola was his favorite player. The Giants have a lot of money to give him. I think the Giants, like we've said, that team is the Yankees' biggest threat in the offseason, I believe. Only because, one, he did grow up a Giants fan. He's from the area. The Giants have the money to spend. So I think, the Yankees have to be very smart on how they handle the negotiations to make sure they don't force his hand to go somewhere else.
Well, of course, the Giants are the main contender for him, but the Rich Arola story doesn't change the fact that the Giants have always been probably the main contender for him. But, I mean, a non-Yankee fan telling Yankee fans to be worried about Aaron Judge going elsewhere, I mean, listen, if you're a Met fan, sorry, but you don't understand what it means to wear the pinstripes.
Yeah.
When you're a Yankee, it has more gravity. There's no other organization like them in sports. So, and And as Elliot says here, the Richard Aurelius story doesn't worry me because nobody really knows what Judge wants. So that's the true thing as well. I mean, listen, that doesn't put me up or down, the Richard Aurelius story. End of the day, the Yankees still hold the cards here. And he's making history as a Yankee. If he was making history as a Giant, then it would be a different story. But he's making a history as a Yankee. He's now with Babe Ruth. And Aaron Judge isn't dumb. He knows that more than anything. He knows what it's like to represent the Pinstripes. I am not concerned about that. I really think that the Yankees hold the cards here. If the Yankees step up and put the money where their mouth is, then I do believe that Aaron Judge will stay. If he doesn't, then, I mean, I don't think it's because of Rich Aurelio.
Yeah, no, is it a concern? Absolutely. You don't want to lose you don't want the Yankees can't afford to lose their marketing ticket. And that's what Judge is. Not, and that's on top of being just, a guy that can carry a team at any point.
The only danger for the Yankees is if they offer only what could be exactly, Elliot. So that's what I was talking about when in the preseason when the Yankees offered him a market value fair offer. The Yankees could have offered a hell of a lot more than fair in market value. So that's why I was annoyed by the preseason negotiations. And then when it was rejected to then make it public like that, I mean, quite honestly, this has nothing to do with the Giants. The Yankees put themselves in this position. Let's make no mistake about it. In these negotiations, the Yankees put themselves in the position that the Giants could actually land him because they didn't go all out like they should have. I know it was a fair offer, and certainly the media will protect them, saying, "Oh, it's fair." But most of baseball view it was a fair offer. But considering what Aaron Judge means to the organization, they could have added more dollars to that original contract offer, and then not piss your best player off by threatening to take him to arbitration court, which was hours from happening, and then making it public the rejected offer. I mean, Brian Cashman put the Yankees in this position, so that's the truth. I think as if the Giants are willing to match any offer the Yankees make, because if they do, Judge is going to be a Giant. So what do you disagree with? I mean, are you disagree that the Yankees put themselves in this position, or what do you disagree with? That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I think what Met fans need to slow down on, because I catch a lot of what's going on, Tony.
Yo, Tony, thanks so much, man. Thanks so much for the support. Love you.
I think that the Mets fans need to slow down on kind of trying to get us into panic mode, because you have your own guy that's going to be opting out of his pitching contract. That is your marquee player in your organization, Jacob deGrom. So the as much as all the Mets fans that I work with break my chops all the time. Oh, Cohen's going to outbid the Steinbrenners. It's not even a question. And I'm like, well, you need to worry about getting deGrom back first. So if deGrom opts out, you only have Scherzer for one more year. How much are you going to get out of Cookie Carrasco? So you need to worry about your own house before worrying about ours. I'll leave that at that.
Well said. Well said.
Yankees have dropped
100%. That is 1,000%. Preach. Tell that to Tatz's cousin there. The Yankees dropped the ball with Judge. There's no mistake about it. They could have bought out his arbitration years ago, and they put themselves in this. They put themselves in this hole. They really have.
No, it's where Cashman screwed up was twofold. First, releasing making it public what the offer was that they gave him. Right, not the offer itself. Let's be realistic. You're not going to start negotiations with your highest bid. All right. When you go to an auction, they don't start at $1 million. They ask for $5. So I understand, the negotiations. You start low and you work your way up until you guys can both come to the middle. The second mistake that he made after Judge turned down the contract was holding off on the arbitration. Just give the guy, they should have just given him what he asked for.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if he does go to the Giants or any other team, I think the arbitration issue is going to be the nail in the coffin for the Yankee organization. Um, and that,
Taking it within, it was literally hours from being taken over $4 million. It was a huge
yeah,
mistake. Huge mistake from the Yankees.
yeah. So let's get into last night's game. And last night's game was just one of those where we had Severino back on the mound. You have Oswaldo Cabrera putting things together offensively.
Mm-hmm.
Torres hit 2 home runs in 1 inning. Holy cow. And Judge almost getting 61 with the ground rule double. I thought it was gone. I'm sitting.
It was very close to being gone.
So we're supposed to beat up on teams the way that we did last night against lower end, against the bottom feeders. But it was also with the authority that they won. It was almost like a statement going, okay, they're looking like they were before the summer hit, where they went into that terrible slump.
Yeah.
Aside from like with the way that Cabrera was hitting with the grand slam to start it off, Torres really starting to put the bat on the ball a lot better, spraying the ball over the field. Tell us how you're feeling about having Bader in the on the lineup.
So Bader's helped the fact that Aaron Hicks is no longer an everyday player, so that's helped us immeasurably. But Bader's been great since coming in. So he's had 3 RBI night in his debut, and then an RBI again last night. He's put bat on ball. He's driving in runs, and he's playing good defense. This is basically everything that we could needed from the outfield, considering what Aaron Hicks was doing. So it's a big plus.
Yeah. So Severino back on him out. Yeah, he looked like a stud. After he's, it was only a 5-inning outing, but it's his first outing coming back. We know how most teams will do exactly what they did last night.
Mm-hmm.
Are we too hard on Torres at times? Yeah, we are, because we root for a New York baseball team. Let's be honest about it. Our expectations will always be higher than everybody else's around the league. We expect greatness from everybody. That's just how we're wired. Torres is one of those guys where it was in that quote unquote juice ball year that we just went on a tear, and everybody was questioning if that was the real Torres. They played a lot of games with him, with where they were going to position him defensively. They left him at shortstop for too damn long. So we were just waiting for Torres to show us what he was really going to be about, and how much of a contributor can he be to this team. So yeah, we're hard on Torres. We're hard on everybody.
Doesn't all that losing in August seem so long ago? Do you know what the Yankees are doing? They're doing what playoff teams are supposed to do, and they're getting hot at the right time.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. Obviously, there's still issues here. The bullpen looks like an issue. Health and the starting rotation is still an issue. But here's the key to the Yankees putting together some consistent results. Having a consistent lineup. That's the key. That's what's being overlooked here. Obviously, Mets fan since 1982 is correct in his assessment that having Aaron Judge leading off would give him A, more at-bats, and B, stop him being pitched around in general. So, yeah, that's helped. But also, just having a consistent lineup. They like Torres, obviously, in the 3-hole. That seems to be working a little bit. And we got Stanton. Still, he's adding protection. And Oswaldo Cabrera getting a very consistent run now in the outfield, which is helping us and helping him develop. And he's been great. All that consistent place in the lineup, consistent team now, and the Yankees are getting consistent results. So that's it. The Yankees need to stop thinking they're smarter than everybody else in the room by making a million changes on a daily basis, because that was part of the reason why we completely tanked in August and July, all the changes. And it wasn't all because of injuries, because we were healthy at the time we were making all these changes. The Yankees need to get some consistency, and they're starting to do it now. But, I mean, obviously it would be a different story had Aaron Judge not hit that key home run in the ninth inning to make it 8-5, and then got our tails up, and then we got loaded the bases for Stanton to hit the home run. That's because it would have been a different narrative had Judge hit the home run, but then the Yankees not score another 3 runs in the inning to save the game. So it's all relative, but we came back. It was great.
All right, get the bullpen locked in. Yankees will give the Astros some huge problems in the playoffs. The bullpen is a big question mark.
So let's get into Oswaldo Cabrera, man. He has been freaking awesome, man. I mean, it's a daily basis now. He does something special. So he's playing left field. He saved a grand slam the night before.
Yep.
And then hits a grand slam last night. Then hits another RBI after that. The guy is so special. He could actually be our answer to left field next year.
He could be. He really could, because we don't know what we're going to get back, or we don't know when or if Benintendi's coming back and at what capacity he can play. We also don't know what's going on with LeMahieu. That's another big question mark. That's kind of hurting this. That's hurting the team to see exactly what's going to work in the playoffs, because you don't want to bring these guys back where they don't have enough bats to get their rhythm going. Mm-hmm. I think that's something that the Yankees have to be very cautious about. Tony, I don't agree with the Astros, but no problem if the Yankees make it to the playoff. It's the Astros. They're not undefeated. They're not. They do lose.
Dude, they barely lose. Have you seen their record? They're fantastic. The best team in the American League.
Yeah, but they're not invincible. Do they outplay most of their the teams they play? Absolutely. They're a juggernaut. They really are. But they're not unstoppable. You just have to play your brand of baseball and get them to bend a little bit. And once you get them to bend, that means you can get them to break.
Well, I mean, the Yankees have never once shown that they're able to make the Astros bend or break. So I'm just saying I don't think we should get overly excited yet. I mean, we'll need to wait to even get there. We have to get through the LDS. So there's hurdles to climb before we talk about the Astros.
Yeah, there's a long way to go to that.
Are we capable of hitting the Astros? Are we capable if we play our very best baseball with our strongest rotation? Yes, but are we getting a little bit overexcited because of a little run against the Pirates? Yes, because let's be honest, we still don't have a closer. Holmes looks terrible. Our middle relief hasn't looked good the last a little while, and obviously got some starting rotation concerns too, because Garrett Cole's been really bad lately. So that is certainly things to keep an eye out on. But the good news is we got Aaron Judge, and no one else has Aaron Judge. So that's our best chance.
Yeah, it's Nick. It's going to come down to the bullpens, and let's see. I'm curious to see how the Orioles will play the Astros. The Astros have had a good season. I don't think you could really look at the record and say that they were a terrible team. They're stuck in a really tough division right now, but they're playing better than the Red Sox. And I think that they can give the Astros some fits. I really do. Because there's, when you're not playing for anything except for yourselves and your own pride, it's a different type of game.
But they are actually playing for something. They're only 5 games out of wild card spot, man. Have you checked the standings?
Is it that close still?
Oh, yeah, they're still within reach. It's not impossible. It's not like they're, when you say terrible team, I mean, my God, they were over 500 for an extended period of time. Come on, Tats.
So
exactly. Orioles took 2 out of 3 from Tony handing
Tony's handing it
Texas
to them.
ass right here. Good
Yep.
job, Tony. Keep it up, man. I'm not saying the Orioles are a terrible
Donald
team.
loves when I'm showing up. No, they're actually They're 4 games they're 4 games behind the wild card. So a sweep. Wow. Okay. I stopped. I was not paying
See,
attention.
Tats lives in a hole. He only watches Yankee games, people.
Yeah. No, I didn't realize it was that close. I really didn't. My apologies, Tony. So with last night, right? With the bullpen, who do you trust when was that
exactly wow.
Yeah, all right. The bullpen's been an issue. How would you construct the bullpen? Where would you have these guys pitching in what innings to get themselves back on their feet?
Well, I wouldn't have Holmes close. That's for 100. But I mean, we don't really have any defined roles right now. We need to see how Efros does. We have to. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously, as Tony Clark brings up here, how do I feel about Britton? Well, we don't know if A, Britton will be back, or B, what kind of condition Britton will be. If we had a healthy Britton all year long, he's obviously have closer experience for the Orioles. He was a very, very good closer for the Orioles. Then that would be a different story. But we don't really have any defined roles in the bullpen right now. We've not really had anybody that's had a spectacular year. I mean, I would consider Efros because he's got elite stuff. Maybe he could play in the latter part of the bullpen. I mean, could he close? Loaizaga, he's struggled all year long, but then he's got kind of better lately. Could he be considered as a closer? We don't really have a closer, guys. That's my concern.
No, it is going to come down to Britton and how he comes back. If Britton can come back and be solid, I would just put him in the 9th inning.
I mean, it's a bit late to be doing that, though. I mean, I would consider Efros, but it's probably going to be by committee, and I think the Yankees are kind of locked in on Holmes right now being the closer, considering he was an all-star at the start of the year. But let's be honest, if the Yankees trust him, they haven't been paying attention because he's been frankly bad since about July. About the first week of July, he's been just terrible.
Yeah. When you're having guys like Efros and Britton come back.
Exactly. I'm not confident in return to Zach Britton either.
I don't know. I want to see when they come back and how they perform.
I was thinking about Severino closing in the playoffs too, but I actually would have said Severino, but because of the injury to Montas, we might actually require Severino in the starting rotation.
Yeah, we did talk about having Severino in the bullpen in the postseason, just to make sure that you get enough of your guys that your capable arms as possible. But yeah, the injury to Montas does change the dynamic of how everything is laid out.
So what I loved was Gleyber Torres. To circle back because we're obviously running out of time. What I loved was Gleyber Torres handing Stout his ass for deliberately walking Aaron Judge. I thought that was unbelievable. It's an 11-2 game. The game is over. What kind of coward would basically start pitching around Aaron Judge when you're down 11-2? Challenge him. Show what you've got. Have you got anything? Clearly you don't. You don't trust your stuff. So he pitched around him, threw a 3-0 changeup out of the zone to Aaron Judge. I mean, I understand maybe that you don't want him to hit the home run and you forever being in the history books, but you're now going to be in the history books as a complete coward. So I don't know what you'd prefer. I would prefer to have the balls to pitch to him. That's baseball, Donald. Nobody wants to be on the wrong side of the record, but yeah. But if you guys came across Tyler Glasnow's interview he said, "I've never pitched around anybody. I trust my stuff." And that's the thing. I just don't think Stout trusted himself. And it was a cowardly act. You throw a fastball, throw a strike. Why not? Hey, Donald, I think he should have it. I agree, man. I agree. There might be a coup d'etat. Me and Rob might have to discuss a coup d'etat for that. It was a to be honest.
Yeah, I'm usually a lot better than that. And that was embarrassing, Tony. That really was. Yeah, no. When you are a marquee name, whether you're Glass now, Ottavino, you get these guys that they have so much confidence in their stuff. It doesn't matter who's at the plate; they're going to go after them. So, there is that sense of pride where, right, like we always say, here's my best stuff. If you could hit it, good for you.
Especially an 11-2 game, man. It's not like you're pitching around them to avoid a loss or whatever, man. Yeah. You're down 11-2. Just throw a fastball. At least throw one strike in that at bat. Don't blatantly, deliberately walk him without deliberately walking him. That was a pussy move from a complete coward.
Yeah, that was what we call an intentional, unintentional walk.
And he's gonna be a brave man to ever enter New York again. That guy. First of all, his career's done. No one cares about him. He's done. He's useless. He's a waste of space. And but he's gonna need like armed security to get to New York because New York is pissed. Yeah, but Gleyber then just was like, "Oh, you want to pitch around Torres? Oh, you want to pitch around Judge? Okay, bang, send him to the moon, to the freaking moon." My belief on Gleyber Torres is now going through the roof because of that. That was badass. 2 home runs in 1 inning, badass. Yeah. Doing it to shove it in the face of the guy that was a complete coward, even more of a badass.
Good morning, David. And yeah, to what Tony said, Verlander is another name. That Verlander is that guy. One, he's a beast, but Verlander is that pitcher where even with the bases loaded with Barry Bonds in his juiced year, would attack him. Like that. That's just the dog in Verlander. Verlander, as much as, and we wanted him this offseason. We were not happy when the Yankees passed up on him and gave the money to Donaldson, but because it was the same price. But yeah, I think Verlander is he's just one of those special guys. As much as he's not liked amongst the Yankees because he's got to, we have to face him. He's just one of those. He's got that arm.
So I just had to amend the title because you spelled Gleyber Torres wrong, Tat. So I had to fix that.
I probably did. Okay.
No, you did.
Yeah.
So what were you talking about?
Mistakes this morning. But that's what happens when you work 13-hour days or for a week. You get a little tired. So, but we're here every morning, rain, shine, sleep or not. Must be a little real tough though, guys. There's a big difference between guys like names I don't remember on the Pirates. Yeah, you're talking about 2 different rosters, 2 different types of teams, but
there's also personal pride. Regardless of how good you are, you also have to have pride. I would never, in that situation, just pitch around someone because I was scared.
Especially with history on the line. It's not like it was the beginning of the year.
Yeah. I mean, you have to have some kind of awareness. I mean, there's 45,000 people there. And half the Pirates are Yankee fans anyway. O'Neill Cruz, you name it.
Reynolds.
Exactly. There's a bunch of Pirates that are Yankee fans. So just, dude, how often are the Pirates in any situation where there's a full house and people are interested in what you're doing? Just pitch. Have some pride. And I'll tell you what, the scouts watching will have a lot more impression of you as a pitcher if you face up to Aaron Judge, regardless. If you've got the stuff to handle him, right? But that's what I'm saying. His career's shot now because no one's going to care about him. He's now just an afterthought.
Yep. No, it's unfortunate. But let's see. Hopefully they pitch one tonight. 61. It's coming. It's coming. And especially with Boston, it's going to be a little extra juice in the game. But that's going to wrap the I will say, I recall a long time ago, the Yankees were playing against the Giants. Carl Farnsworth went after Barry Bonds. Yeah. Yeah. You have to pitch to these guys when history's on the line. I'm sorry. If you make a mistake and he hits it out, tough. But pitch, like Donald said, pride. That's all it is. So that's going to wrap things up for us today. We will be back tomorrow with Ronald, with Rob.
With Ronald? Ronald McDonald of McDonald's?
Oh, my God. Donald, wrap it up. I'm done.
Tony Clark, don't worry, man. There will be a coup d'etat eventually. Okay, people, thank you so much for watching. I'm loving all the views, all comments. Bring it. I love the passions. Great. Let's do it again tomorrow. As we say here, wear your pinstripes with pride and play hard.